The CBI has started its probe in the anti-Sterlite protests firing case. CBI has questioned the families of the 13 victims who were killed and the 40 others who were injured. Also, the documents regarding the firing have been collected. Sources say that the autopsy report reveals that all shots fired were on the chest and head, which is against the standard operating procedures of the police. So this is a very serious violation of the police manual, because whenever the issue is about dispersing crowds, non-lethal measures are supposed to be used. Even if a firing is resorted to, it cannot be directly at a person's chest. That is something which I believe only the army has the powers to do, not the state police. So these are some very serious violations that has happened during the Tuticorin protest. From what we have access now, the CBI has raised questions, have in fact disclosed some documents, and in these documents it is clear, particularly the autopsy report reveals that all shots fired were on the chest and head, which is against the SOP of state police. Bhavtosh Singh joining me on the phone line. Bhavtosh, what are the violations that the CBI has disclosed so far? Because all along we've been raising questions about whether the police, the state police, violated standard operating procedures.
In fact, the CBI has not made any official comment, but sources have said that CBI is going through the autopsy report, and what they have found is very shocking. In fact, they have said that all injuries that were received by 13 who died in firing had received gunshot injuries on head and on chest, which is against the standard operating procedures. Now, as per law, if you have to fire at the crowd, first, it is rarest of rare, and second, the gunshot injuries should be on leg and not on chest or on head.
Yes.
Second, the CBI has also said that they have asked for all records as to who issued these weapons, as well as who ordered the firing. Now, there are visuals which clearly show that Tamil Nadu police snipers, in fact, positioned themselves atop the bus, and they were marking out people and firing at them. Those who have received injuries, as well as the families of those who died, they have said that it was a peaceful protest. It was to mark their 100-day of protest outside this factory, and at no point of time they indulged in violence. Now, that's the version of the victim and of those who have been those who have received injuries. CBI has said that in days to come they will, in fact, call in senior officials of Tamil Nadu police as well as that of government.
Right. So two primary questions still remain, Bhavtosh, which you also pointed out. Who issued the orders for the firing? Who signed and collected those weapons that were used for the firing? Those areas have still not been conclusively reported on, Bhavtosh?
Yes, Afrida. In fact, the CBI officers said that the officers on ground are insisting that they ordered this issue of firing at protesters only as a last resort, because they have broken the prohibitory order. Question is that would a lathi charge had controlled the mob, or was firing necessary?
Okay.
Because it's very rare that such large-scale firing happens. You have example of Panchkula in August 2017, when 39 people died, and this is one of those such incidents in which the police used excessive force to quell the crowd or the mob, and then which in fact saw death of 13 persons and injury to 40 others.
Right. Okay, so of course those questions remain, whether non-lethal methods were first used or whether the police resorted to firing as an immediate measure. Thanks for joining us, Bhavtosh, with the latest information.